Hi, this is Jim Mann with Homestyle Southern Cooking, and it's so nice to be back with you again. Thanks for having me in. Months ago, I did a pound cake online. It was called Muzz's Pound Cake, and if you want a real Southern pound cake, that is the pound cake to go to. But I've had several people ask me, have I ever made a cream cheese pound cake? And I said no. So we're going to make a cream cheese pound cake tonight, and I have some stories to tell you as always. So let's get started. To make my cream cheese pound cake, I've got 3 sticks of butter, or like a cup and a half of softened butter. Oop. As you can see, it's very soft. To that, I'm going to add 1 block of Philadelphia cream cheese, which is also softened. Now we'll put this in here, and on very low, let them blend. The cream cheese and the butter should give this an incredible flavor. You still have the sugar, you still have it's got 6 eggs in it. It has all the ingredients that you look forward to. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to scrape this down a little bit. Meantime, my oven is set on 325, and I'm going to eventually bake this for about 90 minutes, okay? Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my eggs in here. I'm going to turn this on low, and I've got 6 eggs, and I'm going to put the eggs in one at a time. So it might take a few minutes to do this, but I want each one of them blended individually. Make sure they get all blended in with the batter. It's a very simple recipe to make. As you'll see, the ingredients, I just have like 4 or 5 ingredients that I'm using. So far I've got the cream cheese, the butter, and now I'm putting the eggs in there. And see, they're blending up as they go around. Okay, we'll turn that up just one more time. Get that going just a little bit. All right, we'll turn that back a little bit. Now we'll put 1 teaspoon of vanilla in here. Now, I've got 3 cups of sugar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit at a time. Let that blend in with my butter and my cream cheese. All right, now I'm going to let that blend for a few minutes. I'll turn it back a little bit. I want to make sure that it just gets creamy. I don't want to overbeat it, but I don't want any big lumps in it. So if I turn it on and see now, it's nice and creamy. I can scrape down the sides. It's a nice creamy consistency. And that's what you want. You want really a nice creamy consistency. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do, and before I do that, I'm going to show you, I've got my pan here. You can use any kind of pan you want to. I've got the pan I use for fruit cakes, or I use it for pound cakes. I'm going to spray this down really well. And I mean really well. Make sure I get my cylinder sprayed there. But I also cut a piece of parchment paper for the bottom. And I'm going to put that parchment paper in the bottom, and I'm going to actually push it down on where I've sprayed. Then I'm going to respray the parchment paper. And the reason why, that way, is the bottom of it not going to stick, and it'll come out a whole lot easier. All right, I'm going to put that to the side for a few seconds, okay? The last thing we're going to add into our ingredients is I've got 3 1/4 cups of flour. Now the flour I'm going to want to add in a little bit at a time also. I'm not going to put it in all at one time. So I'm gonna put like, oh, maybe a cup at a time in here. I'm gonna turn that on low and let that beat. Well, okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more flour. Probably another cup. Maybe a little bit more. Next time I'll add the rest of it. I'm gonna turn it back on low again, put it down. I'm going to add the last amount of flour I have in here. A little bit at a time. I'm going to let that blend really well for about 3 minutes. It's got a real nice creamy consistency to it. So now I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to scrape down my blade here as much as possible, get as much batter off as I can. Take this off, it might be easy to work with. And scrape as much of this off as I can get off of here. This is a real thick batter, but the pound cake is really, really light. So let me put this out of the way. And now let me get my pan. My pan over here. Now we're going to take this and we're going to actually add this to our pan. And I probably even have to spoon it in. So it's so thick, but that's okay. I'll tell you a story while I'm doing this. This is going in the oven. For about 90 minutes now. I'll keep a watch on it at 325. When it comes out, we'll take a look at it. And what you might do is just tap it a couple times, and that way any air bubbles in the bottom will come out. But I'm going to go ahead and put this in my oven, and I'll be back to you in about 90 minutes. Our cream cheese pound cake just came out of the oven. I took it out of the pan, and it looks absolutely beautiful, but it's still warm. So I'm going to let it cool down for another 10 to 15 minutes on the cooling rack. Then we'll come back and we'll cut it. Okay, I'm glad you're back. Our cream cheese pound cake has cooled down some. It's still a little warm, but you know how I am. I'm so excited to bring you things. I want you to see them. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it, and I'll dedicate this first slice to Uncle Tucker. So, but it's got a beautiful crust on the top. Cut this all the way through. Look at that. Look at that. That's absolutely beautiful. And there's our cream cheese pound cake. I hope you'll try this. It was very simple to make, as you saw, very few ingredients. And this will be the true test. As soon as I hang up this from talking with you, I'm getting a cup of coffee. Wow, it's really good. You need to try it. I wish you were here and I could give you a slice and I could share it with you. Thank you so much for following me on Facebook and supporting me on YouTube. You are my support, and I appreciate all your support that you give me, and telling all your friends about the channel. Until next time, give yourselves a big hug. Stay safe in our crazy world we live in, and know that I care about each and every one of you. Until next time, this is Jim in Mexico saying, God bless.